Lush green fields of the Philippines, rolling through tropical village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails to Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week 72 of the Philippine House Build. But before we get into that, again, there's always a place. Doesn't have to be the Philippines, but somewhere where you and your money are treated well. Here is Tinfoil Hat to Retirement.
They wear their tinfoil hats like crowns of gold. Whispers and shadows, the lies are sold. No kings, no masters, the banners wave. But chaos brews in the land of the brave. Oh, the rich play chess with the pawn's blind eye, feeding them crumbs while the truth runs dry. They shout revolution, but they're lost in the fight. The world burns down in the dead of the night. Desert storm where the flags once flew. Fear grips the streets like a cold morning dew. They scream of freedom, but they're bound by chains, trading the reason for conspiracy flames.
Alright, that was Tinfoil Hat to Retirement. Again, lots of things are taking place in the world. We have our Russia-Ukraine, we have our Israel versus Iran, and we also have, in the United States, the war between communism and capitalism. And it's experienced every day when you have the educated elites causing these riots to take place. So, with that, let's go ahead and get back into the house build. Here is also, Mopwood, we did the final walkthrough with Mopwood yesterday. They even made a little commercial with us, and I'll go ahead and play that little snippet right here. Yes, so if you're in the Leyte area, definitely come out and see Mopwood. They're very good in the construction for cabinetry, and they've done a really good job in here. We've already done our final walk around, and they've done really good with the cabinetry in the kitchen, the bedrooms, the bathrooms. So definitely, if you're looking for somebody for cabinetry, definitely see Mopwood. They've done a really good job.
Ito yung designer niya, no? Ito yung may kasalanan.
Alright, so we did that little snippet of Mopwood. We walked around. Some things are still not complete yet. Everything is warranted for 1 year, so if we do find things that needs to be worked on, we can always call them and bring them back out. They've been really helpful, really productive workers. And again, we got them as a separate contract versus what the builder was doing. We just wanted to speed things along a little bit, use a separate company to install the cabinetry, and that's what we did. We even had a separate contractor for all the glass in the house, and there's still some things with that needs to be taken care of, and so hopefully we can get that situated as well. All right, now looking inside the second kitchen. Last week I did mention that we had a receptacle over here that was too close to the burners. And one of the things too, when we were talking about this gas burner, here everything is gas, and you buy them in canisters here in the Philippines. And one thing that we noticed was there was no gas hookup. So when we go underneath the cabinetry, no place to put a tank. I think we were going to keep our tanks outside underneath the staircase of what's going up to the roof deck. So we are going to have something drilled and then put into the cabinetry so that way it can connect to. So that's one thing that's taking place here. So with the cabinetry, got a gas range. We need a hole for the tanks to come in to connect to the gas range. They did remove the receptacle, redid the backsplash. Everything seems to be here. Flora really did like, she likes this kitchen sink, so that's good. She likes this countertop out here. The cabinetry, like I said, was all going to be put against this side of the wall, and that's exactly what this is here. So the cabinetry is here. It's going to be for the refrigerator. We're currently using this refrigerator in our rental, so as soon as we make the move in here, which hopefully will be around the July time frame. Again, what we're looking for now is in the back, that little water holding area or structure. We're waiting for the floors to be poured, and that usually takes 15 days. So the day that they pour that cement, it's going to take 15 days to cure before we put water tanks. And that's really what we're waiting on, is the water tanks, so we can move in. But a lot of things we're putting in here that we need to have installed to try and make these workers go a little bit faster and let them know that we're coming. We want to be in here, we want to be moved in. So that's why we're doing the water tower, or the water structure to put the water tanks in. Okay, so this is where the refrigerator would go. Here's the cabinetry, plenty of spaces. I mean, everything up here is cabinetry, everything's slow closing. Like I said, the bigger one in here will actually house the electrical box. So here's the electrical box inside the cabinetry. So we still have plenty of cabinetry space. We're still waiting on a final paint. That was another thing that is not, I just saw this. So basically, this right here is going to be the converter for our 110. So our 220 to 110 will be attached to this receptacle there. We're supposed to have two receptacles for 110, but it just depends on what we're cooking with that we brought from the United States to be used in that receptacle. So that is going to be our power converter to go from 220 down to 110. So it looks like that still needs to be installed. Again, plenty of cabinetry space. And they're going to have to do a final paint. That's another thing that painting always comes after everything else. When they do the final paint, that always comes after everything else is installed. So we got this cabinetry space, shelves, plenty of shelving. A lot of this shelving, like I said in a previous video, we were going to have a pantry, but we ended up turning that into the laundry room. And we still haven't put the washer and dryer up yet. I mean, the washer and dryer is here in the room, but basically they're sitting right here and waiting to be taken out of the boxes and installed. We got our laundry area ready. So this is all going to be laundry, not pantry. And then of course, this is our now pantry food items along with the refrigerator spot. So that's good. Not much else have changed in the helper's room. They're still using it for storage material. Definitely dirty windows that we're going to have to clean on the outside. No glass in the bathroom. We didn't put glass in here, but a lot of that you don't see. Glass was something that we put in our rooms, and that is what we're waiting for the finishing touches for that. let's go ahead and move out here to the living room. Out here in the living room and kitchen areas, we did, one thing I wanted to show here was the island has a little switch for lighting. So there's backlighting for the island. And then you saw this in one of the other videos before. It was just a pop-up that is going to be used for USB and also plug-ins on the table that we might have, so that way you can charge the phone. And then our refrigerator is in and plugged in. We do have a water cooler or a water dispenser, and basically the water dispenser, you put the jug down in the bottom, and then of course you'll have your hot and cold there. So this was the space for the water dispenser, and all our cabinetry is in here. Of course, we showed that in the previous videos. Everything is set there. We just need to do final paint. And then here is the microwave and drawers here. And then on the entertainment center, I think I had mentioned before that there's just things that they're still working on here. So they've got the TV brackets up. They haven't put the TV on yet. And we do have, we're going to put those TVs in the living room, master bedroom, and the 2 guest bedrooms. So brackets are being installed. TVs will be put up. Oh, and while I was back here at this back end of the kitchen showing backlighting, it turns out that there's also lighting for the back counter here, a little switch. And so you got lighting there, and lighting is also above. All right. So that is there. And then I had mentioned also out here, okay, so we had put the satellite, so on my post that I did about the Starlink satellite, it's, so the satellite is up there and the wire came down, and what they did was they chiseled out this wall going all the way down. That is the hole that goes into the bedroom behind the door of the bedroom. So they got the wire going in there, going down, and then out into the bedroom for the Starlink. Definitely here's the glass sliding doors. All right, in here, see they're putting up the brackets. They're just got to find a way to angle the TV to keep it straight. Apparently, they hooked up the TV in the master bedroom, but the TV was at an angle instead of straight against the wall. So they're redoing the brackets, the one in the master bedroom, for that to make sure to see that they are building or at least digging the holes for the wall. So that's where the wall is going to be going down. So they do have the holes being started for that. So the upper, everything needs to be concreted. So like I said, this structure out here has to be finished or concreted up first, and then they got to do the bottom. And each time that they pour the concrete, it's 15 days. So that bottom and that top at 15 days is basically why it takes a month to get that done. But once that's completed, we can put our water tower up. Oh, and then speaking while I'm here too, since I'm not going to be going outside, see those two orange pipes that are there? That is the two pipes that went down the firewall into the bedroom. So originally I was going to have the Starlink attached to the roof, and the wire was going to go into those orange pipes, which would have went down into the bedroom. But see how small those pipes are? That's not even a ½ inch. That is apparently 3/8 of an inch. So a little bit small. They couldn't get the Starlink in because it's a big plug, so they couldn't use that. And I had referenced Greg and Wilma building the Philippines, and when they do a firewall, and they know that, like if you're going to have any type of network, any type of satellite wiring, network wiring, anything like that, pipe should be out here at least 1 inch in diameter, but this was 3/8, and Greg and Wilma had even recommended that if they were to do it again, I wish I would have watched the video at the time that they were putting this in, they recommended 2-inch conduit, because you can have lots of wires running behind your wall, especially if you're using a network or a satellite or any type of other wiring that would need to be going to a certain location. So they did do it. They did put the wiring in there. They had the thought to do it. It's just that the conduit in itself was too small. So we had to, again, buy new conduit and then run it on the outside of the bedroom wall. And that's the reason why it's now behind the bedroom door. All right. And then, of course, in this bedroom, working on the mounting. And then also, all right, so they did put the TV on straight in here. So this is what the TV looks like on the wall finally. Okay, so they do have one TV in, so that's good. They put it on the brackets. Very good. So very happy about that we have at least one TV up. And that will be, so here that's a 75-inch TV. The two smaller bedrooms have a 55-inch TV, and the TV out in the living room will also be a 75-inch TV. So that's what we have here in the bedroom, and just to show you what it looks like behind. So behind the TV, that's where those two orange pipes were going to come in and to drill behind the door. So this is the door of the bedroom. Here we've got, I don't know if you can see that, but the router is down there. That's where the hole comes in to for the wire to plug into the router. And then of course I've got it plugged in right there. So that's what we had to do for that. All right, so that is completed there. And then going in here, they finally got this pretty much completed. So the drawer, got the handle on it. Pull this out here. All right, mirror, of course. They did some rewiring here. So this bottom one should still be the mirror. It's just that they had to rewire some wires going to the outside. We'll turn these on again just to highlight the cabinetry here for mob wood. All right, so now you see the drawers. They do have knobs on them, so you can pull out the drawer. And it's got a glass here. And basically this was a design that was used in Cebu. Also closing, push buttons, and that's that right there for our wall closet. Of course, we still need vinyl paint. So again, they paint after everything else is in. So we do have here all the drawers, and each one of these is a drawer that goes. So plenty of drawers, plenty of shelving. So that's good. All right, and then in the bathrooms, like I said, the glass people were supposed to be out. Matter of fact, really, I believe they were supposed to be out last Sunday. And we expected them sometime during the week before today is Sunday, so it's been 1 week. And they said they were going to come back out and put the handle on. All right, so again, glass people are separate from Mob Wood. Mob Wood has their own thing, and the glass people are completely different. So we'll go this way, right there. All right, and then out here, they're still just cutting work for the TV console. All right, so again, I like this stone. I almost. All right, so that one is done. Yeah, they're just getting the brackets and the frames in. And see these frames, it's another thing, these frames have lights on them. So the TV gets put on, and then there'll be a switch, and then you got a TV backlight. So that's what these bars are that's going around the frame. So TV would be flat, but then when you turn on the switch, then there'll be a light, and then it lights up the TV. So fun stuff for that. All right, I think I am going to go outside just to look at the porch, because that was the other thing that's been worked on. I know that, so we have this, so this porch area here is almost complete. They still need to put, towards the end there, they're working on the end of the patio. They still have some gold railings to lay down. But they do have these steps all tiled, and we do have this in. Another thing, I see a red light over there. So the red light is on, not the green light, which means that the actual electrical power system is not powering the grid. So the electric that's running on this house right now is purely solar, which is 12 kilowatts. Again, so we have 2 batteries, and since it's early in the morning, the batteries are just now starting to charge. There's a dot is flashing right now. You can look at that. The 5th dot is flashing. So the sun is powering up the batteries. When I can get in closer, I'll show you the main box that shows how many watts is going into the house, how much is actually being used. Because when we do get the it's called LECO here in Leyte. So when the electric company ties into the solar grid, that will charge the batteries during the nighttime. And then we're also going to sell back whatever we don't use back to the electric company, which will come in the form of a credit. All right, so that is it for this. All right. Well, thank you again for joining Arizona Trails of Philippine Tales for week number 72 of the Philippine House Build. You have a great day. Bye-bye.